Now, I will say this. Some causes are more cool than others. Some good causes, you've noticed that. You know, you are not going to hear people argue with we should feed the hungry, and I'm hugely committed to relief and development work. We give away, and I think it's appropriate to say this because I don't have time to explain the biblical basis for it, except to say that we're to do our good works, and yes, we are not to tell other people what we're doing with our money in order to be seen by them and to get their praise, but we are to let our light shine before men that they may glorify not us, but glorify our Father who is in heaven, and also that we can be an example to each other in the body of Christ. And many people have been examples to me in the arena of giving. So when I tell you that we give away all the royalties from my books, Nancy and I give them all away, and 100% go to ministries, and our ministry keeps 10% for what we're doing, and then gives that other 90% away to ministries all over the world. And relief and development work, probably more than anything else over the years, we've given significant amounts of money, and by God's grace, about 10 million books have sold now, so it's a lot of royalties that have gone out. So I'm a person who believes in these. I believe in helping with the teen sex trafficking thing. I absolutely, and great organizations in the Portland area and around the country, they're doing tremendous work. I believe in these justice causes and support ministries that do them. But you know, for a while at least, I know that the justice conferences were leaving out one people group, unborn children. And it's just interesting, why would we leave them out? I'm not saying that they should be the only thing, not even that they should be necessarily the first thing. But certainly if they're not among these oppressed people that we believe Jesus has called us to speak up for, then something's wrong. Something's terribly wrong. And I talked to the president of one of the Christian ministries putting on one of the justice conferences saying, why do you say nothing about unborn children? I mean, shouldn't somebody, well, you know, we need to think that through. And yeah, we do. And they did. And they, at another conference, at least one conference, they addressed the issue, and I hope they're doing more of it. I haven't really been keeping track lately. The other thing that I get concerned about, I had a meeting in the Portland area where I was invited over to somebody's house, and they had a Christian activist, a justice person, who came and talked about how we need to get involved in this, that, and he'd written a new book. And I knew that this person was not in favor of changing legislation to make it pro-life. This was not, you know, on his agenda. And at the end of the time, he said, we talked about all these great causes, and I agreed with almost everything that was being said. And we've given money to almost all of these causes. And then he said, I just feel like maybe there's one final question somebody has to ask before we leave. And there was about probably 30 of us crowded in this room, and I just went, oh no, Lord. And so I hesitated, thinking maybe somebody else would be that one. Then I said, okay, so I just have this question. Why is it that we have talked about virtually every justice issue in the world, every exploitation of innocent people, but not one word has been said about one of the most notable that's close to my heart? And he literally turned and looked at me and says, what one are you talking about? And so I said, the cause of unborn children. He says, well, if we do this and do this and do this, then there will be less abortions in the world. Yeah, heard all that. And how's that working for you? I mean, yeah, sure, you can look statistically at certain things. There's fewer surgical abortions today than there were back here, yes, but there's probably many more chemical abortions. But even apart from that, even if we're just down to 1 million or under 1 million down from 1.4, that's still a huge number of lives being taken and women's lives being in some cases just destroyed. So let's not be selective. Let's understand that the gospel, the people who say the gospel should be broad enough to touch all aspects of our culture. I agree with them. I just believe that we should not take the term pro-life, because I get this all the time, is, well, I'm pro-life too, but I have a bigger definition of pro-life. See, my definition of pro-life includes people that are already born. Like all of us are idiots, and we don't think born people should have rights, And so I believe I'm pro-life in a much larger sense than you narrow pro-life people are. And so there's a co-opting of the term. I don't know if you've seen that, but we're pro-life. But we'll take the moral high ground because we're pro-life about the people that are already born. You say, well, I'm great with you being pro-life about the people already born, as long as you include the ones that are unborn. But when you take the term pro-life and then move it over here and then say nothing on behalf of unborn children, find another term. That one's taken. It's been around a long time, and it's been used, and we're still going to continue to use it, so don't think you can co-opt the term, even though you're not going to stand up for the rights of unborn children.